Shalom, I'm Joel Blackford with Beth Hesed Sabbath Fellowship. We're virtual only, based out of St. Paul, Minnesota. The phone number works if you'd like to contact us. We do the philosophy of eschatology, what you need to know, your reality, our existence, as we move through these weird times. We do the thought behind the thought. We solve a little piece of Revelation. We're working on Revelation chapter 9, chapter 12. We're working on phobias and phobotrons. You'll learn that today. And also the dates that match up with these frightful type things, because we're heading into Halloween. So this is the Heshvan 15 time frame through 22, which is the False Sukkot from Jeroboam, and then Noah's flood of Heshvan 17. So you want to be frightened, don't you? You want to be scared. Well, these three monsters showed up recently in Virginia, and they were caught on the doorbell camera making terrifying threats to homeowners. That's what people want. They want horror films, and that's what they receive, which is horrors. And there will be more coming. So this is Halloween 2025. Why would you open up portals to the demonic? Why? So what are we talking about? Why would we want post-mortem Halloween 2025? We wouldn't really want that. We want to give you the Bible accurately, give you prophecy that matches, and then give you the real news. Okay, so first things first. Demons are the disembodied spirits of the Nephilim, according to Dr. Mike Heiser. I agree with him. And so I want you to be aware that demons were made from Nephilim dying off during the flood and then after the flood as they were killed off by King David and others. But the fallen angels, they're imprisoned for the most part right now. They will be released during the end times. We'll discover that. We'll discuss it. So according to Heiser, there were three rebellions. There were these Genesis 3, that was the one, that was the Nachash, we call him. Doesn't say Satan, doesn't say devil or Lucifer or anything like that. It says Nachash in the text, but it's a rebellion, and he caused Adam and Eve to fall. Okay, Genesis 6, angels fell, came down, mated with humans, and they made rebellious armies called Nephilim, the giants, and they battled humans for resources, and eventually they were flooded. That's proxy number 2 or fall number 2. Genesis 10 and 11 are rebellion number 3. Nimrod starts it, and then they build Babylon, and Babylon is factoring through to the end times, okay? And it's listed in the Bible frequently, Mystery Babylon too, which is not necessarily geographical Babylon. So Revelation 9, the fifth trumpet, we'll see the king angel released along with, I believe, 200 egregores, these top angels that had fallen and were located. Well, I'll show you later on where they're going to be. Okay, Revelation 9, the sixth trumpet, about verse 14 forward, you'll see 200 million Nephilim sent out, hybrids, chimeras, whatever you want to call them. That's a prison release. And why? Because we have to have the big showdown between God and either the fallen angels or these Nephilim or other creatures, okay? And more fallen angels in Revelation 12. Satan plus a third of the fallen angels will foment a divine rebellion, unify against humans, and that's prison number 3, release, okay? So that's Heiser with his side on the left side. That's Joelisms on the right, but it makes sense. Those verses do match. And all of these activities seem to match back and forth between the rebellion and the prison releases at the end. Okay, and that's the middle of Revelation, chapters 9 and, 12. In the middle. Heshvan has been a dark month associated with Halloween, witches, open portals, and curses. 1 Kings 12, Jeroboam created the false Sukkot, placing idols in Dan and Bethel to begin on Heshvan 15 through Heshvan 22 in the midst of the false Sukkot. Noah's flood was remembered as starting on Heshvan 17. Okay, that means Methuselah died on Heshvan 10. So that puts them together because they sat Shiva for Methuselah for 7 days. Their false Yom Kippur would be Heshvan 10. And they sat Shiva until Heshvan 17, of course. And in 2024, the Paris Olympics and the beheading of Marie Antoinette on Heshvan 10. They kept on showing that, 1793. That was seen constantly, 18 times. Was celebrated in a prophetic sense. Globalists and Satanists celebrated future martyrs. I'm saying Heshvan 17 is a logical time to start the end times flood of the beast filth and possibly concluding in 2032. That means really we're down to just a few days. Tom Horn states it this way, either June 8th of 2025 or September 22nd, Rosh Hashanah. So he cites Pentecost or Rosh Hashanah, or the Feast of Tabernacles, Sukkot, October 6th through the 13th. Well, he was wrong on all three. Nothing kicked off. He does cite Apophis at April 13th of 2029. Not everything's going to match, people. You just keep on watching and looking. But we're going to see a pole flip acceleration in a couple of years. We'll see robots everywhere too, and we'll probably see the seven bowls poured out. According to Horn's timeline, it would be 2029 through 2032. I don't know. We'll see. But he is trying to date everything to October 13th of 2032, the conclusion of the Feast of Ha Aliyah, commemorating the Jewish people finally entering the Promised Land. Interesting. Okay, so that's what he's stating. That's his. I'm stating right now, watch for these things. So once again, Heshvan, 5786. It's a little piece of October, mostly November of 2025. You'll see October 31st, you'll have Halloween, and that will be when you kick off, why am I blanking on it? The false Yom Kippur, or Yom Kippur of Heshvan, okay? And once again, the Paris Olympics talk to you about Marie Antoinette, and then you've got the crazy little demonic being down there starting out Sukkot and then ending Sukkot on the 22nd, Noah's flood on the 17th. So you see all those 6 things occurring during Heshvan, and the depiction of Jeroboam and Hadad as Moses-like saviors from Zvi Novik from the Torah.com, talking about the false idol worship, the calf set up in Bethel and in Dan, calves, and Jeroboam and the prophet before the altar, colorized. Yeah, so it's interesting. Okay, so these things are coming up. And thank you, Chabad, for your calendar. So, once again, 2024, the Olympics telegraph what? The fourth horseman, with that greenish type horse and the man. The fifth seal martyrs of 1793 again. That would start on 10/31, Halloween, Passover. That was what they were showing there in that picture. That's Revelation 13, the sacrifice of the Lamb of Satan. Yeah, and Yeshua, obviously. So basically, there will be the sacrifice of the martyrs during Revelation 13. Azazel Pan, that's that bluish creature there. He's Pan, you know it. Azazel also. Fake Yom Kippur on Heshvan 10, which is 10/31/25. That's when it starts on, of all days, Halloween. Okay, so we've had a busy year. In the midst of the blood moon eclipses from 3/14/25 all the way up to 9/7, 9/8 September, we had the blood moon eclipse there. But in the midst of it, we had the Luciferians getting together. So once again, we had the blood moon eclipse on March 14th there, and then we had the full moon of Passover. Nothing really occurred much there. But then, as we moved on to the next phase of that, in May, we had Trump flying to Saudi Arabia and setting up these peace deals. And, it's interesting. They were negotiating for the Temple Mount, too. So then on June 11th, we had the big thing. Okay, Lucifer's Trust, Lucifer Publishing, Satan's exhorting fallen angels, Nephilim, to enter our realm. Okay, and I'll explain that in a little bit. I'll show you the slide in a second here. Full moon of July 10th, Trump, Bibi, peace and safety. Red heifer practice, very interesting during that time frame. Then August 9th, full moon, war escalates. The Gaza war escalates. Then the full moon of September 8th, Russia-Ukraine war escalates. Then the full moon of October 6th, Israel versus Hamas, the ceasefire begins. And then number 9 is November 6th. That's the Sukkot. That's the false Sukkot of Jeroboam. So it's just been a busy year so far on all of the full moons. It's been a busy year in general. This is done by the Expose. This came out on the 25th. I'm recording it on the 26th. Audio recordings of Lucis Trust meeting capture key figures discussing the reappearance of Christ. They want to push for either the Mahdi or they've got other creatures that they've labeled, and they want it to occur soon. That we would call him the Antichrist or Gog potentially. But Alice Bailey founded the Lucis Trust, originally known as Lucifer's Press, from the UN. It was located there as an offshoot of the Theosophical Society designed to publish the teachings from her spirit guides. She also founded the Theosophical Network in 1961, which has established arcane schools and organizations such as the World Goodwill, which formed another occultist organization called World Union, all dedicated to implementing the UN, the world government. That's from Gary Wayne. He'll be on my show hopefully in about a month or so here. To mark the convening of this hidden spiritual hierarchy in June of 2025, June 11th, the Lucis Trust held its centennial conclave. There is not one scheduled for the 25th year of 21-25. Okay, so keep that in mind. This is the last one, and it was just before the summer solstice. Various key spiritual observances, including the World Invocation Day on June 11th, okay, that was the full moon, were being coordinated globally to align with this event. This year is described as the stage of the forerunner, a preparatory and revelatory period ahead of the anticipated reappearance of the Christ, with major spiritual observances like the Seven Rays Conference and the World Invocation Day scheduled for June, coinciding with the Gemini full moon. That's Courtney, my friend Courtney Turney, saying that. And then she continues on, 2025 represents a pivotal moment in spiritual evolution according to the esoteric teachings, marking the convergence of three major planetary centers, Shambhala, hierarchy, and humanity, in what is anticipated to be the momentous centennial conclave. Okay, that's Courtney again. Thank you, Courtney, for that. She'll be on my show. Actually, I'm probably 4 months out from her being back on. On the left-hand side, ex-psychic sounds alarm after live tarot card reading about Trump, Biden on Fox News. You've opened demonic doors. They do. That's what they want. On the right-hand side, portals. Portals, they're trying to open these portals, summon portals to open worldwide. That's what they want. Okay. On the Muslim side, on the Arab side, it's very similar. And Iran, the same way. They want their Mahdi. They want that. And according to this guy, Abdullah Hashem Abba al-Sadiq, he is the Mahdi. Okay. He's the successor to Jesus Christ, the successor to Imam al-Mahdi. I am the true and legitimate Pope. And so that's his little video there. Very weird. I'm Abdullah, the successor to Imam Mahdi al-Assam, the successor of Comforter Ahmed, the successor of Simon Peter, the successor of Muhammad, the successor of Jesus Christ. I am the true and legitimate Pope. I am proof upon the Christians. I am the son of Muslims through my father and the son of Christians and the Jews through my mother. It's portals, people. The Quran talks about portals too. So they're trying to open them also. Portals are opening. You're seeing more demonic attacks. Poor Irina Zarutska, wonderful little lady. She's dead now, okay? Charlie Kirk, he was ceased too. So we know that something's opening. We can sense it. And there are other demonic activities coming out. They're asking, where's your God? We know where our God is. Where is their God? And why would you want to? Well, they're conjuring. And they're opening up portals, and it's not the guns, that's for sure. Various states are having this foisted upon them. Baphomet, king of the, sorry, that's a personal opinion. That's a Joelism. King angels rule. Yes, so the fallen angels are the ones that will rule. There will be one top guy. He will be the king angel of the abyss from Revelation 9, probably verse 8. Okay, and demons are sentient and hierarchical, but they are not up to the level of fallen angels. There's a distinct difference. But demons are real. Fallen angels, you don't see them yet, but they're going to be opened, and the portals will open. And you'll see them at some point in time. So people are conjuring. Portals are opening. Witches cursed Charlie Kirk many months ago, September 12th. Okay, and so Charlie Kirk dies days after Etsy witches curse him, and people can't believe the coincidence. So, if you want to, you can pause this, but they made powerful spells against him, and guess what? He's no longer with us. So there you go. There are other people that are witches. According to the Blaze Media and the line, A Lifestyle by Blaze Media, Satan has a mixtape, and Taylor Swift is on the playlist. Okay, that's October 20th. She has a new record. Slithered through her reputation era with the witchy forest rituals of Willow and the tarot imagery of Midnights, Swift has long played the language of mysticism and witchcraft. Billie Eilish does the same thing. She's the Beetlejuice of music, okay? Singing mutilation, numbness, and detachment from reality. Lil Nas X, raving homosexual who seems to revel in depravity, and grinding to Satan. Doja Cat smears herself in blood and calls it expression. Thank you for pointing that out to us. So Taylor Swift is part of witchcraft too. I mean, that's what she's showing us. Okay, the witches are over in England. They're conjuring here. This is actually the satanic cross. It's upside down, you can tell. And so this was from July 12th of 2025. That matches up with a full moon, very close. It might have occurred about that same time as the full moon. They took this down immediately because it's so overtly demonic, and no farmer wants this on his land. The Red Green Alliance. This is demonic, okay? This is from the Jerusalem Center for Security and Foreign Affairs. They're saying there seems to be this weird alliance between communists and Islamicists, and it's getting worse. And they, obviously the rise of radical Islam, according to our friend Obama, number 44, and then Hillary Clinton represents communism, but Obama represents both. This is from Danny Seaman, and oh goodness, I hope that isn't going to occur all night. So Western society, shaped by consumerism, has been programmed for immediacy. We crave short-term satisfaction in our demand, our craving for immediacy. We've abandoned the long game. The left embraces Islam as a moral ally. The right now sees it as a financial partner, and both are foolish. They infiltrated Western liberal thought, distorted it, and exploited it. Now they're doing the same with capitalism, using Western values to gain influence. The enemies of Western liberalism, the radical Marxist left, and political Islam have found common cause in weakening the very foundations that once made free societies resilient. They attack faith, family, tradition, and identity because they know that these are the pillars that allow a community to stand up to tyranny. Thank you, Danny. Very accurate. They want you to worship or die. Worshipping BLM, communism demons, worshipping trains, you know what trans means, mental illness, radical Islam, PLO, liberalism, godlessness, drugs, pharmakia, witchcraft, sorcery, big media, anarchy, Holocaust, pedophilia, sexual sins, R with a PE. Okay, you know what the middle vowel is. Okay, so monsters are coming. Halloween monsters are coming, but the problem is they're biblical, people. So according to Rick Renner, the monsters will show up, fallen angels, giants, monsters in the world before the flood. So you want it on Halloween, people? You're going to get it. Great shakings also in every place. Famines, that's limo in the Greek, and pestilences, loimo. There shall be fearful things, phobotron in the Greek, monsters, that's how you translate it. Also, apo, descending, and there's also a phrase in there that should be kata, which should be circling at you. Great signs from heaven there shall be. Luke 21:11. Thank you, Rick Renner, for explaining it. So Isaiah 19:7 talks about phobotron also. You can see it in the yellow highlight up above. So in Isaiah 19, there will be a place for the Jews, to the Egyptians, for fearful things the Egyptians will see. Anyone who might name it to them, they shall fear. Yeah, that's phobia, or phobe, whatever. Okay, and plan the Lord of hosts. So God is planning it against them. Okay, phobotron again on Luke 21:11. We already saw that. Earthquakes, great places, seismo, and famines and pestilences shall there be. Fearful things and signs from heaven, great will there be. Luke 21:11. So it matches. Once again, phobeter, frightener of dreams. This is ancient Greek, but it does work. It's a frightener. It's a panic, fear, phobos, phobias, form of beast or bird or the long serpent. And then down below, Griffin suggests that the names of the deities and the division of the dream forms between Phobeter and his brothers are of Hellenistic origin. So interesting. Phobotron, phobias, frightener, dream beast. You can see the various pictures here. You want to be scared during Halloween? There you go. That will scare you. That's what's coming in the Bible. So this is what's coming in the Bible. This is Revelation chapter 9, 1 through 13, 14. This is the fifth trumpet, and this is what they will look like according to Grok. And so that is frightening. That is the fifth trumpet again. This is the location where I think the fifth trumpet will open, which would be just by Mount Azazel. That is from the Yom Kippur service, Leviticus 16. I believe that's Revelation 9. Mount Muntar is in the Judean desert. I'll show you in the next slide, but it would be that fifth trumpet. And here you go. There's Jerusalem to the way left. Then you go to the right and you see Azazel at Al Muntar. And then if you take the long way around or the short way to Qumran, you'll then hit Qumran and then the Dead Sea. So it all seems to match up. That seems to be where the Revelation 9 monsters are hanging out right now. They're underground, and they'll pop up at some point in time. That seems to be the most legitimate location. The Dead Sea is the lowest place on the earth. Okay? Then you move along to the sixth trumpet, which is Revelation 9 again, but it's the 15th verse to the end. And that's Babel. And it seems to be the Euphrates, which it describes. That's where the angels are, on the Euphrates. And then it comes back and talks about it in Revelation 16 again. And so that seems to be the second portal. So you'll have monsters coming up from that location too. And there's about 200 million of them coming. Okay? So the second portal, again, from Babylon. Babylon means the gate of gods. The gates will open during the end times. The original language name for the city of Babylon, Babalu, yeah, on the Akkadian does mean gate of God or gates of the gods. The Akkadian name is derived from Bab, gate, and Elu, Elim, God or gods. And it was a translation of the early Sumerian name, oh goodness, Kadingura. Okay, sixth trumpet. Third portal, Revelation 12. You'll see the portals opening up in the skies. We call them sky donuts now. They're popping up all over the place. These roundish type things opening and closing. Very interesting. And that's how the fallen angels will come down from Revelation 12. Jonathan Cahn talks about summoning the dragon from Revelation 12. And so he and, oh goodness, I'm blanking on his name, from India. Interesting filmmaker, and I'll come up with his name in a second. But anyway, basically, the dragons are coming, and that's Revelation 12. So the portals will open, and the dragon will show up at some point in time. So if you want to be frightened for Halloween, there you go. That's frightening. So happy Halloween? No, not a happy Halloween of 2025. You don't want these things coming into your sphere. It isn't a happy. It's just it's portals opening, allowing evil to come in, and people are conjuring it. More portals opening, okay, and horrible types of things. So basically, what you're wondering is, so demons, fallen angels, Nephilim, dragons, hell will open up too, martyrdom. So basically, it's just that time, of Halloween. So where are we at? Let me just make sure. Halloween, False Sukkot, conjuring. Yeah, you want to be scared. So basically, that's what's going on right now, and I wanted to cover it. So birth pangs were in them, but we don't know when we would enter the tribulation or the Great Tribulation. We know that they're trying to open up more portals as we move into this Heshvan time frame, and we know that you need clean garments. You need to work on Revelation 7:2 and 9:4, which talks about the mark of God, the seal of God, and you'll get married at some point in time. You need to be clean and not naked. Those garments have to be white and clean. It's a wedding. Take care. God bless. Thank you very much for your time. We'll see you again, hopefully in a week. Oh, no. Oh, I'll have Dr. Bill Schnoebelen on this Wednesday evening, and he'll be talking about Halloween. So it'll be a great session with him. We'll have some new slides and new information for us to share. So see us then. Take care. God bless.